Hi, thank you and welcome to Diamond Delight Edibles. My name is Liz, and first of all, before I get started, I really want to thank all the new subscribers. I really appreciate it, and really means a lot to me that you're enjoying the videos. And thank you again for the nice comments. If this is your first time watching, I do hope you enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel and share with your friends. And so for today, what we're going to be doing is some decorative chocolate. I thought this would be great for the holiday season. That makes great gift ideas for your friends and family who do enjoy edibles. It's a unique gift idea. Now, I have tried to do this with real chocolate and tempering. I haven't been able to get it consistent. Every time I've done it different ways, it's ended up with inconsistent results. So really, I throw my hands up to tempering right now, and I've gone to using the candy melts. They taste great, they work well, they set, and they stand up. So I'm going to continue to work on it. Hopefully I can figure it out without having it to actually do an infused gourmet chocolate. But we'll see what happens. Alright, so without further ado, I'm going to get started, and we'll go over everything that we need and start designing. So some of the things that you're going to need for this is obviously your candy melts, whatever colors you want to use. And then I use the chocolate one as my base, and that's what I add the Cannabutter to. So the chocolate one is the majority of the base. The colors are just for the decoration. You're going to want to use your molds if you want. So I'm going to show you some different decorations to do with the chocolate bar. And if to do the Christmas balls, or the holiday balls, you can, these I got from the dollar store. So they're ornaments, plastic ornaments that you can fill up with whatever you want. They work great for the molds, so I use those. If you want to add any additional colors, you always want to use an oil-based color. You'd want to always make sure to read your colors to make sure that there's no water in it. Water and chocolate are mortal enemies, and you absolutely do not want to get even a drop of water in your chocolate. So there's these type of oil base. I got them from Wilton's, and Wilton's also has this candy. They're specifically candy colors for candy making. What else are we going to need? The other thing is if you're stirring your chocolate, you always want to use either a rubber spatula or a metal spoon. You want to stay away from wooden spoons or the spatulas that have the wooden handle and where the cup comes apart. The reason being is these can retain moisture. And again, like I said, moisture, bad for your chocolate. So always try to use the full silicone spatulas or metal spoon. You're always safe with that. The other thing I use are these disposable piping bags for the chocolate. It makes it great for applying, easy, and you can always store them and reheat them as needed. A couple other things you could use. There's the edible glitter that you can use. This is really pretty on the chocolate. Some piping tips for doing the decorations. We're going to need the small ones, number 2 or 3s, and number 4s or 5s. And what else? And all my chocolate I've already pre-melted just to make life easy. But if you do want to melt for melting the chocolate, you can either do it in a bowl or put it in the bag itself and do it. I always start with 30 seconds, then go to 20, 10, and if it needs additional, I work between 7 and 10 seconds. It's very easy to burn chocolate. You don't want to overheat it, or you can do it on the double boiler, which is kind of what I like to do. Now, in order to keep my chocolate warm and liquefied, I've set it on top of my toaster oven. So I've set my toaster oven to 150, 175. That way the toaster oven's warm, it's metal, and I just set the chocolate on top, and it keeps it melted for me. Another thing, handy tool will be the spatula for doing. I'll show you for the decorating. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Oh, sorry, and obviously your Cannabutter. And you want to have your Cannabutter melted. Alright, so I'm just going to straighten up here, and we're going to get right into the decorating. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my Cannabutter to my dark chocolate, get it all thoroughly mixed up, and so it's ready to go. As I said, I just like to medicate the main chocolate that I'm using, but it's up to you. If you want to add a bit into all your colors, go ahead. So I'm going to be using, you can use 1 to 2 tablespoons, obviously depending on how many you're making. I'm going to be doing a couple of the chocolate bars and the Christmas balls. So I'm going to add in 2. Now it's really important to make sure that your chocolate and your butter get thoroughly mixed. So what I like to use to make sure that it is fully mixed in, emulsified, I like to use the hand blender. Alright, so that is nicely mixed up now. We're sure that our butter is nicely mixed and evenly through. What you want to keep, when you're mixing, what you want to make sure is that it's a complete uniform. If you see any kind of streaking, then continue to stir until it is completely all the same texture and color. So if you see any of that streaking, it means that your oils are not fully incorporated. Okay, that looks good. Now because I just incorporated a whole bunch of bubbles into there, I'm going to just smack it out. Smack it out a little bit, and it's going to sit for a little while we're decorating. Okay, so while that's waiting, what I'm going to do for this chocolate bar is I'm going to make a Christmas tree with some little ornaments on it. So as I said, what I did is I took one of those bags, I put it in a cup here, makes it easy for pouring in. Just take it, knot it. Alright, didn't leave enough space for a knot. So you can use one of these, I don't know what they call them, those zip things. I like using these because it'll stay locked. Whereas if you try to use a twist tie, it may come loose, and then you end up with goo, chocolate goo all over your hands. So it's nice because you can pull these super tight. Okay, so green and my red. This one I had enough room to knock that up. Okay. And I want to use tips on these so I can make it a little cleaner. Which I had it right here. And of course now I can't find it. Alright, so for the tree I'm using a number 3. What I do here is I just get another one of these bags and I just snip a little bit of the tip off. Pop the tip in there. Let's get that out of the way. And then you're going to make a little cut in your color. You just want to make sure it gets slipped into the tip. There we go. Watch it drip. Okay. You line up your mold and the Christmas tree. Now what I usually like to do is to do a sample one before I'm doing the mold, so I know how my chocolate is working. If it's too runny, I'm going to leave it for a couple minutes to set up a little bit. a little bit runny. See how it's just kind of all coming together here? You can't really see that very well. It's just kind of all a little bit too drippy. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to let this set up for a little bit. Just let it cool a little bit and it'll get a little firmer and it'll be better for piping. But, now actually, if I want to put the ornaments, now you got to remember you're working in reverse here. So if whatever you want to see in front is got to go first. So the ornaments, if you want to see them, you're going to have to lay those first, then the Christmas tree. So if your tip has a little bit of hardened chocolate in it, you just take something pointy and run it through the tip and it'll clean out your tip. Okay, so my tree is going to go about from here to here, and so I want to kind of just randomly place my ornaments within that area. You make a little bit of got a little thing, just use something to clean that up. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the fridge to let those set up quickly. Alright, so while I'm waiting for the chocolate to firm up a little bit, what I can do is we're going to work on the other design that we've got. So what I want to do is just kind of quickly mark off approximately the size of my mold. You want to lay parchment paper, don't use wax paper. So I've just got the markings of the approximate size of my mold, and I'm just going to take our green first. I'm just going to lay some lines. You don't have to be straight, overly accurate on these because we're going to mush them together. You can take your red. Red's firming up a little bit. Okay, then you're going to take your spatula and you're just going to gently put them together like that. You don't want to go over it too many times because what will happen is the colors will blend together, and those two colors together do not blend nicely. Now for the other design, what you're going to do is you're just going to randomly make some dots, kind of whatever you want, freestyle it. Then we're going to take our white, you have already melted, and you're going to lay it gently over the back of the design. You want to make it kind of thin. You don't want to make it too thick. And then you can just shake your parchment paper, get it flattened out. And then what you want to do is take any kind of stick, pointy thing. I use these bamboo sticks that I get at the dollar store. They're great. And then you're just going to do some random circles through the design. Again, you don't want to do too much because you don't want to be pulling all those colors together. And flatten it out again. And then I'm going to take my white and I'm going to finish out the back here. And I think we're ready now to be able to do the other one. Okay, so now we're going to do our Christmas tree. Take the little red dots already out that we had setting in the fridge. And you're going to take your green and you start with a long line. And as you go up, you just kind of come in. You want to make it a triangle. That's it. And you're going to leave that set up now. We're going to put that one, put it back in the fridge, put this back in the fridge to set, and then we're going to lay the dark chocolate over top. Alright, so I've had these in the fridge for about 5 minutes, so they firmed up. And now what I'm going to do for this first one is we need to cut out the size of the mold and then remelt it into the mold. So in order to do that, what you want to do is to heat up a knife or any kind of sharp objects. You can either do it by just putting it directly onto a burner on low heat. Basically you want to melt it, because if you try to push down too hard on it, because it's chilled now, it'll crack. I'm just heating this up on a double boiler. I've got a plate on top of a pot of hot water, and I've got it boiling. So I don't want it too hot. So remember, you don't need it too hot in order to melt chocolate. Okay, so that's about the size of our mold there. We'll check it shortly. So see our design? You're just going to fit it in the mold. If it needs a little bit of adjusting, just go ahead and do that. You want it to fit right in. Okay, there we go. And now I'm just going to put this in the microwave for about 5 to 7 seconds. You just want it to melt into the mold. Okay, so now I've got this melted into the mold, the design. And you want to smack it down and get out all the air bubbles. So when you're melting it into the mold, you want to do it at 7 seconds at a time. It might take 2 or 3 times, but just do it slowly. Just because you take 3 times is 21 seconds, do not put it in for 21 seconds. Okay, so I've got that melt down on the mold, and again, I'm going to put this one into the fridge for about 5 minutes. Now our tree, we take our dark chocolate, our main chocolate. Again, make sure to go mix it up, so in case anything's separated. Well, you just want to fill up your mold. Again, you want to smack it down because you want the chocolate to get all in between that design. And if you've come over the mold a little bit, it's okay. Just take a straight spatula and just... When that hardens, you can take that off of the board and reuse it. Again, just work it down, gently smack it and shake it. That looks good. And now we're going to put this into the freezer for 10 to 15 minutes so that it hardens up completely. We can take it out of the mold. Alright, so this has been setting in the fridge for about 10 minutes. Now we're going to lay our dark chocolate. Okay, now I'm going to put this into the freezer now to set for 10-15 minutes. Alright, so I've had the other one sitting in the freezer, and it's all ready to go. So you want to just gently Pull the sides away. And there you go. And then once your chocolate is set, it's a good idea to wrap it up in tin foil. So I got these tin foil sheets from like the wholesale club, so they're already cut and they're a nice thin tin foil to use. And there you go, a chocolate bar. And then you can always just make a paper wrapping for it. Put whatever you want, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever it happens to be, and put any design that you like on it. And now you've got a nice custom homemade chocolate bar. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to do the ornaments. So I've already started the piping on this one, so I'm going to finish it out and show you on this one, and then how we fill them up and how they come out. So I'm going to stick to the same design that I've got going there. If I could find my colors. Okay, so for doing these, you're just going to pipe the design into the ornament, and you just do it by a dot, straight line.
Purchase your new windows and doors from Centennial, and if for any reason they don't operate like they should, we'll fix them. No questions asked. Parts and labor included, for as long as you own your home.
So just do whatever designs you want. There's no right or wrong way. My piping skills have a lot to be desired. And I'm just going to put that in the fridge to set quickly, and we'll do the ball. Okay, now our other one has now set, so we'll have a look at how that came out. And there you go. Alright, so I've got this one that was already set, so I'll lay half of it. So I thought I would do the light blue. So when you're doing molds like this, easiest way to do it and to get it the most even is to fill your mold almost right up to the top. And then you just want to make sure to evenly work it around right to just to the top, to the edge. You don't want it to go over the edge. So you're going to continue just to rotate it a few times to make sure it's all even. And again, you want to tap it to work out the air bubbles, and so that the chocolate gets in and around the design. You can kind of have you can have a look at it. And then you take it and you turn it upside down back into the bowl. And you just tap it so it all the excess will come off. Just keep working it until you don't see any more big drips coming off. And you just gently tap it to work off the excess as well. And then turn it back over, and you want to make sure to clean that top right off. So you want that edge nice and clean. And then we're going to put this in the fridge to set because we want to do 2 layers. If you only do 1 layer, it's too thin and it will likely break when you try to take it out of the mold. The 2 layers seems to work really well. So I'm going to set this in the fridge for 10-15 minutes. Don't set these in the freezer to try and do it quicker. The reason for that is the chocolate's too cold, so when you go to lay your second layer, it will automatically set as soon as you hit, as soon as as soon as the chocolate touches the frozen chocolate, and you're going to end up with a very uneven amount of chocolate around. So we just want to put them in the fridge to set for the in-between, and we're going to put it in the freezer to set at the end. Again, I want to make sure my edge is nice and clean. And I'm going to put this one into set. Alright, so I've let these set for 20 minutes in the refrigerator, and now I'm going to lay the second layer. We're going to do it exactly the same way as the first layer. Okay, so again, you want to make sure to clean that, make a nice clean edge. This is very important so that the ball will come together nicely. Then we're going to set that in the freezer for about 10-15 minutes, between 10 and 20 minutes. And then I will show you how to put it together, fill it with the treats, and put it together. Okay, so I've just taken these out of the freezer, and we're just going to let them sit for just a moment. And what you can do is just kind of hold it in your hand to heat it up. So just gently move it, and as soon as it'll come away. There you go. There's one half. There we go. So now you're just going to put it together and see how it's fitting at lining up. That looks good. We're going to get rid of that edge, or you can leave it, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so now we're just going to glue, we're going to put our candies in here, and we are going to just glue it together. Okay, so you're just going to take your candies, you're going to place them inside. So this one fits 10 gummies. Well, technically you can fit 20. Probably about 8 to 10 of these guys. So once you've got them placed in there, okay, so we're just going to take some of your chocolate and just do it around the edge. You're going to have to be a little bit quick because it is cold and it'll set before you don't get around. And then you just line it up. Clean off any excess off the edge. And let's let it set. And there you go. You've got this really lovely holiday ball surprise, or a Kinder surprise, or whatever name you want to come up with it. And then they can break it open and they've got their edibles inside. Or I said you can make the ball from edible chocolate as well as your edibles inside. Totally up to you. So that's the demonstration for doing some designed chocolates for the holiday seasons. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to post them in the comments. I'll absolutely get back to you. Again, if this is the first time you're watching, I hope you enjoyed it and you subscribe. To all my other subscribers, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And stay tuned. I'll definitely be having some new videos very shortly. I'm going to be doing creamy caramels, buttery chewy caramels, butter tarts, which are the Canadian version of a pecan pie, sort of, and more to come. All right, so I hope you stay tuned. Thanks again. You have a great day.